Hi friends, my name is Amber and this is a Lovely Yarn podcast. I'm doing something a little bit differently today. I wanted to talk about a knitting book that I recently purchased. I don't typically do this. I don't typically focus in on one project or one particular item, but I love this book so much that I'm doing it today. So some of you, if you had seen some of my recent, I'm trying to think, it was like it was my most recent vlog. I talked about this book a little bit and I said that I wanted to get into it a little bit more. But it is 52 weeks of scrap yarn, and this is a publication that was put out by Laine Publishing. I have never purchased one of their beautiful books before. I have looked at them, but they've always been a little bit above my price point. And honestly, I have a lot of knitting books. So, and most of the knitting books that I have, I've not knitted any projects out of. I have a couple that are my favorite, but I just love this book so much. I wanted to give it, it's been a couple of weeks since I purchased it, and I wanted to give it some time so I could read through it and look at the different patterns and just enjoy this book before I actually talked about it and offered my opinion on it. And so first of all, the book is just absolutely gorgeous. This just makes me happy. I am a sucker for scrappy patterns. I just love them so much. I love the color. My eyes love color. and I love making scrappy projects because it's like constantly changing. You're constantly changing the color. So it always keeps my interest. And so I was so excited when I saw that they were releasing this book, and I knew I was going to get it, even though I've never bought another one, any of their other publications. But yeah, so first of all, this makes me super happy, the cover. And then it's a hardback. So it's really nice. And I feel like it's going to, be very durable. This was it was just released. The copyright date is 2025. I don't know which month it was actually released. I think it was just in April or March. I could be totally wrong about that. But I want to show you another thing that I liked as well. It was the table of contents, because it's very well organized into all the different categories of patterns that you're going to find in here. So this particular book includes sweaters. Let's see, 8 sweaters, 6 cardigans, 4 vests or slipovers, 6, 8, 10, 11 different patterns for either scarves, shawls, or cowls. They're all kind of put together. 6 patterns. 6 patterns for socks. 8 patterns for hats or headbands, 4 patterns for mittens and hand warmers. And then there's also a category that is bags and home decor, and there are 5 patterns for that. So it has 52 patterns. So when I thought about it that way, like I said, I've always kind of been put off by the high price mark of these books, but I'm like 52 patterns, that's a lot. And when I typically buy a pattern on Ravelry, I'm paying, I would say, an average of $7. So this is a pretty good value for my money. What I'm getting is, 52 patterns. Now, I was able to look at this before I actually purchased it, which was really nice, because then I could see how many of these do I really think I would knit? Which I want to say, if you don't know this, you can get on Ravelry and you can look up a book title, like a knitting pattern or crochet pattern book title. And most books this might not apply to like older books, but the more recent publications, you can actually see all the patterns that are in that particular book. And so I use that tool a lot when I'm considering buying a knitting book, because I want to be able to see all the patterns. That helps me to decide if it's going to be worth spending the money. So in the front, you've got some abbreviations for the different techniques that are used in here. There's some general information on chart reading. It's just a beautiful book. It's matte paper. I love matte paper. Glossy paper has its place too, but this is just I love some good matted, thick paper. And then you just get into it and it tells you there's 8 sweaters you're going to be knitting, and it goes through the different sweaters. And I just want to show you, hold on, no, let me finish talking about the book, because I think I'm pretty much done talking about what I liked about the book. Now I want to show you some of the patterns. This isn't going to be a super long episode, but it is, I just want to show you some of the patterns that I'd really like to make from here. There's actually quite a few of them. Okay, so this first pattern, which I'm going to have to just show you the pictures because you know this is a paid for book, so I can't be showing any instructions. But this is a pattern by Anna Josvard. I think Anna. She has a podcast. I'm going to link it down below if I remember. I love her podcast. She is a designer and she designed this beautiful sweater. And so I really like this one, and I would knit that for sure. And I mean, honestly, there's so many in here that I would consider knitting. I should show you even ones that I don't know that I would knit. Here's another colorwork sweater. I don't necessarily like the choice of color, but I think that I could pick my own color choices and really make a go of that one. This is also really pretty. That has cables, textures, I mean, color work. It's got all different things going on in it. And then it's got a split hem, so it's really beautiful. Oh, here's one that I want to make this. I'm going to make this. This is going to be one of the first ones I make, I think. Who is the designer of this? Oops. Este Yuanga. I love this. And I think this sample is knit in Retrosaria. Hold on, let me look. Retrosaria Rosa Pomarbrusca. Yeah. So that is yarn that I can easily get through the woolly thistle. I know that. I love when I can get yarn easily that is featured. And so like these sweaters have written instructions. They also have charts when that's necessary. Here's another one that I really like. I love how that just kind of goes into a V. Again, I feel like these patterns would just fly off my needles. Oh, the Aster sweater. This is embroidered on. Those little flowers are embroidered. And of course, you could do this to any basic sweater, just embroider on some detail. But I really love that. That would be a great way to use like your tiny, tiny scraps. Here is a simple, it looks like this is just some simple stranded color work. I hope that's focusing. Ooh, I love it in this blue with those bright colors. That's great. This is a fun one. I probably wouldn't make this. This is called Favo, but it's really fun. I don't know, maybe I would. This is it's a crochet. That's something I forgot to mention. This book features both knit patterns and crochet patterns. And this one is crochet. This looks crochet, but it's actually knitted. Those granny squares are made by knitting them. And so that's something that's different. And they actually are on, I can't show you, but they're also, they're all over the back as well. I can't show you because that is in with some written instructions. Then we've got this beautiful cardigan and another one. And then let me see here. Let's go through. Oh, this is really neat. This is like weaving. They have woven the scrap yarn in. I think that's really neat how they did that. That's a great idea. Never would have thought of doing that. They give you charts on actually how to weave that in. This is called the Annie vest. That's a really fun, that's so fun. I would make that. I would definitely make that. I love vests to wear over like button-up shirts. And that looks like a great one that you could marl your yarn together. Here, this vest is kind of like a patchwork type vest, so that's fun. Okay, and then is this a wrap I think it's a wrap or a really big scarf, but it's the one that's featured on the cover. I at first thought this was crocheted. It's hard to show because I don't want to give any instructions, but that's actually knit. And that's so fun and colorful here. That's just a better up close of it for you. This is a fun scarf. Detail there. And then there's a couple there's one collar in here, which I'm not a collar person. That's not my jam, but there is a collar in here. And then this is a very beautiful shawl that is called Bloom-Filled Bunting. And so this, I see where that name comes from because you have your base of your shawl, which looks like it's triangular. And then you've got these pretty little triangular shapes that mimic bunting. So I am just super happy with this purchase. It was definitely worth it for me. Let me give you a little sneak peek. This is a tinier shawl, more lightweight that you could wear. Here. There you go. Little peek. I love previews, book previews. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. I mean, like I said, it's not what I typically do, but I'm doing it today because I love this book so much. That's a blanket. Is that a blanket or is that a wrap? That might be a wrap actually, because we're in the wrap, and yeah, that's a wrap. It's a really big one though. Look at these cute little socks. I'm not really one to do a lot of scrappy socks because all of the ends to weave in. I know I have ends to weave in on bigger scrappy projects, but for some reason that just feels more manageable than weaving ends in on tiny circumference projects. That's probably just in my head, but that's how I feel about it. These are patchwork. They're called patchwork socks. They're beautiful, but I can tell you right now, I would never knit these. I would have major second sock syndrome with these socks. I can tell you right now. I don't even know. I read through this a little bit trying to get the gist of how they're constructed, and I thought, no, I'll look at this. They're beautiful. I appreciate the design and the ingenuity of it, but no, not going to be something I knit. Those are cute. Super cute. Oh, this hat is neat. I like that hat. Okay. This is cool looking. Actually, a lot of the patterns that I like in this book, well, I like a lot of them just regardless of what type of pattern they are, but I loved a lot of the sweaters, which is kind of, that doesn't happen very often. Cute mitts. There's a bag in here that I really like. Let's see. Let's get through the mittens and get to the home decor. There's cute little pin cushions. If you want to make some pin cushions as little gifts, that'd be a great idea. So there's this Hortensia bag, which is nice. It has the leather strap. And then there is this set of three different sizes for these Cardigans. This is by a French designer. You can do 3 different sizes of those, and I don't know if it gives the instructions on how to actually insert the zipper. It does not look like it. It just says hand sew the zipper in. It tells you how to measure for the zipper, so it doesn't really tell you. You'd have to look that up if you've never done that before. And then this little cushion is really cute. A little pillow. Oh, this is the bag I wanted to show you. I love this. It's like a crossbody bag. It is a color work. It's supposed to be really easy. I think the hardest part about this would be doing like let me just show you. It's like one of those. So when I was young, we called them fanny packs, but they're back and now they're not called that anymore because that's not cool. That's not a cool name, right? So this is so cute though. And you've put the zipper in and then you've got the strap that you wear across your body. I love this. I would wear this. I love crossbody purses because then my hands are free. Like I have a big leather tote bag and then you can see them hanging right there. And then the one on top is my crossbody bag that just kind of goes across me because I'm hands-free then, and that's fantastic. And I'll show you a little sneak peek here of how this one is lined. And I don't know. Okay, it does give written instructions on how, so it gives lining templates. It gives you like the templates to trace and cut out, and then it gives you instructions on how to sew the lining. And does it say how to zipper it? Put the zipper in? I think it also tells you how to put the zipper in. So that would definitely be a little bit more involved and more than just knitting. You know, you're going to have to do all the finishing with inserting the lining and all of that. But I just love this book so much. Like I said, not a video that I typically make, but I wanted to put this out there because I like to see inside of books that I'm thinking about getting. And this is a really great book in my opinion, especially if you like scrappy patterns. If you don't like scrappy patterns, you're not gonna really, this book might not be for you. Although some of the sweaters are, you know, you wouldn't have to put the scrappiness to it, like the ones with the woven patches and the embroidered flowers and such. And I feel like you could use the instructions that you learn in here for those certain techniques and apply them to your other hand knit projects. That's also really inspiring to me because I do have a lot of just plain knitted stockinette sweaters that I feel like would be really fun to embellish at some point. I don't know. We'll see. Overall, I love this book. I would give it 5 out of 5 stars for sure. I am giving it 5 out of 5. I see myself knitting plenty of patterns out of here, and I appreciate the beauty of this book because I do like to look at pretty things, and this definitely checks that box as well. So yes, 52 weeks of scrap yarn projects for crafters, both knit and crochet, and also some sewing in there when you're putting together some of the projects, by Laine Publishing. I will put a link down below to this book if you want to check it out yourself. And again, like, you know, you can always get on Ravelry and look it up and see if the projects are listed on there, because I didn't show you all of them. I showed you a lot, and I showed you some that I really, really liked, but I didn't show you all of them. But there are 52 patterns in here. So when you figure it out that way, well, let's see, oh, I'm filming. I was going to say, let's do a little bit of math because why not, right? And I'm not going to do it in my head. So I paid, let me figure out what I paid. Okay, so $50, roughly $50. So I paid roughly $50 for this book, and there's 52 projects, patterns in this. So that comes out to like 96 cents a pattern. So when you look at it that way, it's definitely worth the money. For me, it's definitely worth it because there's so many projects and patterns in here that I do want to knit and I plan on knitting. And this book is just bringing me so much joy. So I wanted to share that with you all today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.